Ladies and gentlemen.
A couple that has been in the news to a marked degree this week are the Baldwins. Everyone is talking about them and their show, but particularly because we saw them on the red carpet this week, and she is just being, quite frankly, a raging bitch to him. In this clip that I'm going to show you, and I am sure you've seen it, but we're going to discuss it, they are being interviewed about their show. They're discussing if the show's going to be picked up for a second season. And he says, well, if it is, it'll be the Ilaria show. And she and he are talking about it, and she just cannot deal with sharing the spotlight with him. And she literally puts her hand up when he's talking and saying, I'm talking. When I'm talking, you're not talking. When I'm talking, you're not talking. Watch how horrible she is to him.
The Ilaria show.
No. I think we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it feels to have it be out there.
It's gonna be great. You're a winner.
Oh my God! When I'm talking, you're not talking.
I'm sorry.
No, when I'm talking, you're not talking. This is why. Yes, we'll have to just cut him out of the show. No.
Now, I know that Alec Baldwin is a person of mixed character. Obviously, we know he is a rageaholic. We saw him lose his mind on his daughter Ireland so many years ago when she didn't answer her phone or something like that, and he just lit into her with so much vehemence. Everyone was like, whoa, that guy's got some real problems. Then he killed someone, and it was like, okay, suspicions confirmed, this guy's out of control. But in this environment, with his wife, you just have to, like, one human to another go, man, it sucks. I'm sorry. Like, the dynamic you have with your wife is not okay. Do you know that?
Oh my God, you're distracting me right now.
Sorry.
Like now you're just doing that. Why? Why are you distracting me?
I'm just captivated by your
you're just distracting me. No, but
beautiful.
oh my God, stop! You're annoying me. Stop! It's not cute. No, he's distracting me. So I'm gonna walk out of this interview.
I need the motherhood notes. You were doing an amazing.
No, okay, go back. Let me go back.
It's not just this playful, fun banter. Some couples have that. I feel like a great example of a couple that has banter, but it also really respects each other and you know it, would be Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell. They have a deep love and respect for each other, and also they're very playful with each other. That is not what is happening here. This is not a playful banter, though Alec and Ilaria are really trying to push to you this idea that they are this couple that is just so truly in love. They just have this crazy life, but it's just amazing. They were asked, is it harder to be on scripted TV or is it harder to be yourself? And really the question is to him, because she's not an actress as far as I know. She's a yoga instructor. Is, I don't know. And he says, no, it's harder to be yourself. And the interviewer asks, why would you say that? And he says, well, the thing is that you could get the concept of what it is to be in our family within an hour of watching us. I mean, it's not really enough material to make a whole show. It's pretty obvious what it's like at our house very quickly. So you always run the risk of being sillier than you really are, more outrageous than you really are, sort of playing up your idiosyncrasies to give the camera something. And she immediately is like, well, way too much honesty here. And she's like, that's not true. So she starts getting in panic mode, wanting to shut down the truth of what he just said.
I think you make it more silly than it is. I actually feel.
I feel. Get that on the show?
No. We just cut all that part out.
Cut me out.
Cut you out when you're trying to make it silly.
Because that is so true. That's exactly what would happen if you were in a reality TV show and you knew that this is the way you're going to put bread on the table for those 7 kids. You'd play up every weird aspect of your family because you know what the camera needs. You're an actor and you've done it for decades. Ilaria coming in and, asking, what is the word for this? Is a cucumber? That's just not enough for a whole show. And so immediately she gets upset and his presence just totally flusters her. She keeps saying, we just got to cut him out. He's just crazy. He never tells the truth anyway. Don't listen to him. Everything he says is always not even true. If it's not something you read in a history book, don't believe it.
The two of them. They have their own show.
Can I tell you, from now on, unless it's history, don't take anything that this guy is going to say because he just invents it on the spot. It's all
You do realize that he is and was in tons of hot water over shooting someone. Maybe this isn't the time to reveal that even you don't believe him. Anyway, the two of them, there's just so many clips of her just totally showing disdain. There's a clip from their show where she says, I just do what I want and I don't tell you about it.
Agree that that's your reality of it. But what I used to do is I would say yes, and then I would do whatever I wanted, and I would just keep it from you.
What? You know, and there's just, I mean, we already saw in last week's episode where she brings home 4 cats, and he clearly said, I'm allergic. And it's just like, well, that's too bad for you. And the clip is crazy because, you know, even the cameraman, shady cameraman, is like zooming in on her face as he's telling the story. And she has the slyest, slickest, most evil look as he's telling the story about his deathly allergy to cats.
And I had to go to the hospital and get a shot of epinephrine from the doctors there. And I said to my wife, I said, we can't have cats ever.
And she's like, who would do this? So the thing is that, you know, he's got the 7 kids with this lady. You have to ask, what were you thinking? I believe in the blessing that are children, but I also think that it is unfair to continually be trying to bear these children into the world when your marriage is so clearly a nightmare in hell. There's no way that this man is happy. Better that he go live out on a corner of the roof than to live in a house with this woman, because she is so degrading. Well, obviously, she's had her eyes on what everybody has to say about her. She's watching everything we're watching. She's reading all the comments, and she wants to clap back. But she always wants to do it in this way where she's just like, everything is like such a joke to her. Everything is just so funny and hilarious. And like, she thinks that she can manipulate what your impression of the scenario was by laughing her way through the clapback. So we get this super weird, very scripted conversation where the two of them are lying in bed. She's got her boobs all out. He's got the sheet pulled up. And they're doing this like little bit that they've obviously constructed, where they are lip syncing the actual conversation that they had on the red carpet. So they're playing it and she's saying her parts and he's saying his parts. And then they have this other weird exchange where they talk about man erupting. That's what he did. Man erupted her. And then they have this other little pun that he's clearly been told to say, and he's not getting the words out the way she wants. And so she's like, come on, say it, say it. Very weird. And then in the middle of this super clunky little social media post they're trying to put on, where they're doing this stupid lip syncing thing, and then she's got her like little scripted comeback that she's tried to construct with him, but he can't get it out. They've got one of their multiple kids banging on the door and interrupting their whole little setup, and it's just so scattered and chaotic. And it's just like, just don't answer all those people that are saying all that stuff about you.
Be great. You're a winner.
Oh my God, when I'm talking, you're not talking.
Oh, sorry.
No, when I'm talking, you're not talking. This is why, yes, we'll have to like just cut him out of the show. And that is called, what's the word of the day?
Man-interrupting.
Man-interrupting, which could be a positive, it could be a negative, or it could be a
Correctile dysfunction.
yes, correctile dysfunction. I think that's one of our children trying to get into the room. But you know, the whole point is, because our children are about to come in, the whole point is that we interrupt each other all the time. Or sometimes our kids interrupt us.
Carmen wants you.
Okay, I'm coming.
Okay, go get Carmen.
Okay, so now that we cleared all of that up, I cleared it up. Give me a kiss just so they know that I'm not.
Yeah, I get that it would be super embarrassing if you had this exchange on the red carpet. She clearly thought she was being cute, but of course the rest of the world's like, not cute. You're being mean and rude and bitchy and a horrible wife. Even if this guy is the worst, like, you married him, you chose him, you're still in a relationship with him. This isn't the way you choose to, or you should choose, to interact with who you call your beloved partner. But the fact that she even wanted to respond to this was such a mistake. But then the fact that this is what she came up with and then decided to post it. That's what's crazy. Like, I can imagine wanting to answer the critics, but that if this is all like a couple together because one, we couldn't get it together, me and my spouse, we couldn't quite like pull off what it was I was trying to do. And then I got a kid banging on the door being like, Mom, 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 we need you, we need you, we need you. It's like, okay, why don't you guys just tend to the brood you have and worry about y'all's marriage instead of trying to be on this reality TV show that clearly is not going to make anybody in the family look any better. She's looking crazier than we ever knew her to be. And poor beat down guy, I mean, he's never going to get any work again. But the fact that he has been reduced to this is painful. I said last time I discussed that it's very obvious he's wondering why this is the life he chose. It's very obvious he wishes. He's even said multiple times, although he continues to try to counteract the words coming out of his mouth. He said multiple times, I kind of wonder why I have all these kids. You know, and multiple times it's, I would have run off to London to hide. I wish I was out on a yacht. I wish this, that. I mean, of course, they're the ones that saved me if it weren't for them. You know, so he's like slips back in his pre-programmed talking points that Eladia has obviously told him to say. But it's very clear that he's unhappy. And of course, on X, I can't even remember his last name. Y'all know Link? He's so funny. And he was saying that he used to live near, around, or in the same block, whatever, as the Baldwins. And that he used to see Alec many nights sitting down in a restaurant down the street from their apartment, watching videos on his phone and drinking late into the night, clearly waiting for the kids to go to bed, avoiding his wife, just avoiding the life he had created, waiting for the chaos to die down so he could slip in unnoticed. And unfortunately, because of his financial situation, he not only can't avoid his life anymore, he has to be actively part of his life in order to make a couple of bucks now. He seems so vastly unhappy. And with the weight of all that had happened to him because of the accident on set, and now being forced to really live in the life he's created with Eladia, and also have cameras in, and all those cameras are going to heighten every single negative interaction he has with his wife. He can't even avoid his real life anymore. His real life now truly is his life. It's how he's making his living. Before he could run away on set, he could run away down the street, drink and watch videos on his phone and just kind of zone out and take that phone Xanax. And now, unfortunately, he's got to be in it and it's super negative. So if he could have ignored all the negativity all those years, I'm going to go hide out on set. I'm going to go hide out down the street on my phone. Now he cannot ignore the fact that his marriage is terrible and that everyone is asking, what are you doing in this relationship? And now what is he going to do? Leave all those little kids? What's he going to do? You know, they need some serious therapy. And, you know, honestly, marriage is hard. We all need therapy, you know, but they should never have agreed to start to do this show. They should have been like, I'll go drive Uber and you go get a job at Panera. Like anything other than bringing cameras into a really volatile situation. For them at this really crucial time in their marriage, in their life, in the lives of their kids, to then invite cameras in to exploit every foolish moment. What were they thinking? He clearly had no say in this. This is what she wanted. She's always wanted to be famous. She's always wanted to put herself out there. And she's always wanted attention. And this was a prime opportunity. And she probably told him, you've destroyed us because of the accident you had on set. Now we have to all take the hit. But secretly in her heart, she was thrilled by the fact that she gets to have her own reality TV show. But she twisted him into it by saying, well, because of what you did, now we have to. While secretly loving every minute of it. What goes with that?